Hey everyone, I said before that I was going to do an update regarding postpartum hair loss and if there are any things that we can do about it to kind of help us through all of that. Usually I would say there's not really much you can do other than, getting through it and, taking care of your hair in the meantime. But recently I actually found something unintentionally that has actually helped with my postpartum hair loss. It was quite surprising and shocking, and I found out why. And so I want to share that with all of you. So after my previous pregnancies, I started having postpartum hair loss, and my hair would come out in lots of clumps, like way back here, behind the ears, back behind the nape of my neck, and it was just terrible and kind of embarrassing. I know the first time it really bothered me a lot. By the second and then third time, I wasn't as much bothered by it. I would actually take eyeliner pencil and color in my hair up here, or all this that would get bald, and just kind of shade it in so it wasn't as noticeable as, if with just the balding and not shading it in. That was one thing that I did to kind of deal with it. Other things that I did was just the typical standard, recommendations, such as don't put your hair up in a tight ponytail, don't put your hair in a towel after you take a shower, don't brush your hair with like combs or things that are too tight because it can pull out a lot of the hair and stress it out. And don't overwash your hair, things like that. It's just the things I typically follow, just, to kind of get through it the best as possible. So with this pregnancy, after I had the baby, I started having the postpartum hair loss, and I was just kind of prepared to deal with it again for the next, 5-ish months that I would normally deal with it, and then wait for my hair to grow back after that, just the same old routine. But I started having kind of greasy hair, which was not something I usually dealt with, but I think because I moved from the Northwest down south, with the humidity and things down here, it was affecting my scalp more so. And I think many of you know that the hormone loss and everything can affect the hormone balance in our scalp, which can affect, again, it's already affecting our hair loss, hair growth, and it can also cause the greasy hair. So there's many of you who probably have dealt with that too. So here I am dealing with this greasy hair, this hair loss, and already the weather here causes humid hair, so it was just a mess. Terrible things going on, and I was very, very, very unhappy, as you could imagine, and as some of you have experienced yourself. So here I am trying to figure out what I'm going to do about, the grease. So while I was looking, so one day I saw the sponsored ad for this product called Wow. Shampoo and conditioner, and I typically ignore a lot of these things that I see a lot of that don't, if I'm already kind of happy with my product, and I usually use Tresemme, and that's always been great for me. So I just figured this is just something that's going on with my hair during my hormones, and not much is going to really help it. But then one day I was reading over the comments, and I saw somebody mention how it really helped her hair in humid areas and with the frizziness and the grease and things like that. And I thought, well, maybe at least I can get it for that reason. So I ordered the product to try it, and I actually did notice some improvements in my hair, and I really liked how my hair started looking cleaner and healthier in general. And so I was using the product, and something really weird happened. About within 2 weeks of using the product, I noticed that my hair loss had substantially reduced. And this is only about, let's say, maybe 4 weeks into my hair loss actually starting, and the hair's really starting to fall out. And again, usually my hair will fall, the postpartum hair loss will last me about 5 months or so. So I was really caught off guard, with the reduction in my postpartum hair loss that I was noticing when I would shower, and we all would get those big glops of hair, and here I am just noticing that there's a lot less hair loss, and I couldn't figure out what was the difference, what was the reason. I didn't even think about the new shampoo that I was using, and then lo and behold, I saw another sponsored ad. It was for some pill that people take to help with aging, skin and stuff. And I didn't really think anything of it, but it was kind of an interesting video, so I started watching it. And there was this plastic surgeon who was talking about a story about a client that came in with her sister, and how she looked younger than her sister, even though she was the older sister. And and they started correlating as to why, he started to research as to why they have the same genetics and why one looks younger than the other, and what has been different, and if their lifestyles were different, if their eating styles were different, things like that. He just looked into it. Well, what he discovered was the one sister that had the way younger looking skin, even though she was older, was taking supplements that had DHT in it. And she started taking that because her husband, I guess, was taking it too, for, I guess, hair loss or something. Well, and apparently DHT has something to do with, it's like a hormone that our bodies have that when we get older, we get a lot of it, more of it, and it leads to hair loss. And if you can suppress that DHT hormone, then you can reduce the hair loss. Again, this is something that I probably would not have thought anything of, and it wasn't really a product that I was really concerned about taking for myself. So usually I would, again, I mean, sometimes I watch these videos just because I like to learn new things, and I like just to see what people talk about or say and everything. But with this particular case, I thought to myself, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. That DHT sounds familiar. And then I remembered I saw something on the shampoo and conditioner bottle that said something about DHT. And I didn't know what it was, and I just kind of ignored it. I thought it was just some kind of special element in it that, because it's a natural product that has like no parabens and all those other things. And so I just thought it just had something to do with, a chemical or something. They didn't include chemicals, or I don't know. So at this point I thought, wow, I got to check this out. So I went into the bathroom and I grabbed my shampoo and conditioner, and on the bottle it says it has a DHT blocker. And I was like, wow, so this person is saying that DHT is a hormone that leads to hair loss. It's something to do with aging, and it can cause hair loss. And then this particular shampoo says it has DHT blocker in it. And this plastic surgeon was saying that DHT being blocked will stop hair loss. Again, I would have never really thought anything of it, but I'm like, my hair is not falling out. It is like slowing. Well, it was, but it was like dramatically slowed down. Like it was like easily 50% less hair loss within less than 2 weeks. And I was really blown away because I never even thought anything of it. And I continued to use the shampoo, and I continued to see the less hair loss, and it was just like practically gone away, to where it's just small amounts of strands instead of clumps of hair loss. So I can only assume that this shampoo and conditioner with the DHT blocker has a lot to do with my hair, postpartum hair loss, dramatically reducing and practically coming to a halt. So it was about 4 weeks after my hair loss, postpartum hair loss started, that I got the shampoo, and about 2 weeks after that when I started seeing the results. So I would say it was about 2 weeks later that I really noticed like this hair loss, postpartum hair loss had really slowed down. And then it just kept slowing down from there. So I don't really actually even struggle with it anymore. Now I will be honest that I can say that I didn't actually notice. The original reason that I bought it was to help with the humidity issues and the grease. I didn't really see it helping with that. I mean, at first I did, but then I kind of noticed that I still would get the grease buildup. So I actually bought another product called Degreaser, and I use that too, and that really did the tricks. Well, actually first I used Dawn dish soap because I just had to get it out of my hair. I had this like wad of grease and everything that had just actually built up. Again, I think it was from, I don't wash my hair every day, and I wasn't, this was like kind of right at the beginning when I first ordered this anyways. And so I think it was already really built up in my hair at that time, at that point. And I don't, in the shampoo, it's not actually a degreaser anyways. It says that it kind of helps with that, but I think my hair was like past the point of just simple helping. So I bought this product. It's called Degreaser. It's a shampoo. And, but while I was waiting for it, I went ahead and used Dawn dish soap. and that really washed it out. So now I just, every so often I use that shampoo, the Degreaser shampoo, to kind of help combat it, because I just think it's not just a humidity, natural, issue. It's like an overload hormone issue with the grease that had helped, but it really made such a difference. But I couldn't tell you how happy I was to not be dealing with tons of hair everywhere. My family picking hair off of me consistently everywhere we go. The hair in my bed, the amount of hair in my bathroom. Like I wasn't dealing with that anymore by the end of, like, I think 2 months from the start of it, throughout all of this. And it never really, the hair loss didn't keep coming out. So I know I still have, like, the baby hairs from, see, where it's kind of growing back from where I did lose it, but as you can tell, it's just this little bit here, and it doesn't really go back really, in my room, right, you can tell, like, there's a little bit here underneath, but let me see over here, see, just a little bit here, but usually my hair would fall back all the way, like, really far, really far back. But it just started this in those first several weeks or a few weeks or whatever. This is where it kind of just started falling out really bad, where it's growing back. But like I said, usually it would just be really bad all the way down here, and it would go behind my ear, which I had none, actually. There was no hair loss back here, none back here. I actually cut my hair. I have that cut like this or whatever, so she shaves it, but I mean, she doesn't shave it, but she kind of trims it lower. But I didn't have any hair loss at all back here, none behind the ears. It had just started up here, like it always does. It started up here, but by the time, like I said, I got the shampoo, it started slowly going away, and I just got the minimal amount of hair loss. So I again, I don't have it, like, terribly, and my hair actually started growing back in. I could see it, and I was able to, I didn't really have to pencil it in anymore, because it started darkening up, and now it's just slowly growing back. And so I do have that terrible, I think a lot of us hate the new hair growth thing that goes back, but again, it's not like all over, all the way down here, all the way here, all here, where it just looks terrible for the longest time. And as you see, my hair looks pretty nice, pretty healthy. So this is the product here. Oh, well, let me just, this is it here in the box that it comes in. And I actually had bought in a couple, so this is like my backup. And here's the shampoo, and if you look on here, right there, see it says DHT blocker, and again, this is no parabens, no sulfates, and everything. So this is what I had bought. I have the shampoo and the conditioner. I bought the set here, and I just was kind of, I never thought anything of the DHT blockers until my hair just stopped falling out, and I saw that, and I correlated the two and everything. And let me show you the other product, one second. And I apologize, I said it wrong. It's actually called Degrease, and this is the one that I bought. So if you just have, like, this abundance of grease, if you get, unfortunately, hit with that issue, like it never happened to me before. This is the first time that I've actually had that happen. This here works really great. It cleans that grease right out and takes care of that, so it's kind of like an additional help with getting the hair under control. So I really like this product. Both of these products, I'll have the link to it here with this video. So if you wanted to check out more, read reviews, you can, or even purchase it, you can just use that link below and try it out for yourself. Try this and out, like, really, you gotta give this a try. Make sure you read the directions. There's a specific way to use it. It's always best not to wash your hair in hot water. You want to use cooler water, things like that, but it does tell you exactly how to use it. If you first try it and you try to use it like regular shampoo, it's not gonna, you're not going to kind of get the results you're looking for. It doesn't really lather unless you use it properly, and you have to follow the instructions. Otherwise, you're going to think it's not lathering, it's not working. So you have to. It will lather. You just have to make sure that you wash your hair in accordance to the directions that it tells you to, so you can get that good lather. I would avoid trying to wash directly on the scalp. Start with here and then work your way up. Again, this is how you would normally, any stylist would normally recommend to wash your hair. Work your way up and go into upwards and wash towards the scalp. And again, don't use your nails and scratch into it, things like that. You can always talk to your salon hairstylist about, you know, what works best for your hair types and everything when it comes to washing your hair. Again, don't wash your hair every single day. That's what another, you know, rule I learned to follow that really made a difference with my hair. I don't wash every day. It's like every other day. I wash as needed. Give your hair oils a break, and also the opportunity to, you know, maintain natural balance in your hair, things like that. So these are all things I would always recommend following. But again, if you're just like having this really horrendous hair loss from the postpartum struggles, if you're dealing with the grease, if you happen to be in one of those situations where you're doing this, it's more than this shampoo can help with, then definitely recommend this product here. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments and I will be happy to help. If you have any experiences yourself with postpartum hair loss and, you know, using a DHT blocker, I would really love to hear about that, because it's just interesting for me to always learn about these new things that can help other moms with these struggles. We go through enough after having a baby. We don't want to have to, you know, feel awful at the same time when we don't have to. Again, thank you so much for your time. I hope that you found this video very informative. And again, we'd love to hear back as far as your experiences with the product too. Thank you, and take care.